So today we're going to take a quick test flight to check out some repairs we made to the airplane. So the first thing we're going to do today is do our pre-flight checklist. Got the list right here, and it's very important that we do a good job since we haven't flown for a while. Here's our plane, a 1963 Beechcraft Muskateer. And the first thing you want to do is take a little walk around the plane, check for hanger rash, anything looks like it's loose or falling off. First item on our list is check that the ignition switch is off and the key is off, and we can see that from outside. Take a look at our pitot tube to make sure we haven't had any critters build a nest in it. Looks pretty good. And we're going to walk around to the static ports, make sure they are open. Looks pretty good on the left side. We'll walk around to the right side. While we're walking around, we're just taking a general look at the plane to see everything looks like it's supposed to. And now we're going to inspect, take a look at the empennage, the rear of the plane, the tail. Take a look around. We're going to come over and just do a little tug on the rudder. Make sure everything looks good. I like to look under here and make sure this little bolt that you see right here is on and the safety things are into it. Come around to the other side. Take a look. Everything looks good. Now we're going to inspect the wings. So we come up and we check the flaps. Always take a look here and make sure this bolt is on place, not loose. We come up, we take a little look at the hinge here on the aileron. Make sure that bolt is in place. Come down to the other end. There's a little wire, I don't know if you can see that, inside here on the bolt. Take a look down the wing. See, everything looks good. Both sides. Walk around. As we do our inspection, we generally walk around the plane a couple of times, so that gives us an opportunity to look at it from a couple of different angles. Looks good. Coming around. Check the bolt on this side. Kind of look down in there. I doubt you can see this on the camera, but there's a bolt right there with a wire. Come over here. We work the aileron a little bit. See that bolt? Come down. Check the connection on the flap. Now we're going to walk around the plane one more time, looking at the wing tips. A little bit of rash here. Lights are in position. Go around to the other side. Check the wing tips. Thing looks good. Doesn't look like anybody's hit the plane. Any new rashes anyway. We'll check the lights. We got a light, red light in the rear of the plane. We got a strobe light under the plane. Any tie downs or chocks? They just put the plane out of the hangar for us. They got some chocks. There are no tie downs. Now we're gonna check the gas. How will we know how much gas we have? We've got this stick. We'll take the stick, we'll stick it down in there, and we can see the line, and we can see on this side we've got about 28 gallons. Tanks are basically full. Leave that cap right there. We're gonna check the fuel in a second. We'll walk over to the other tank. These tanks hold 30 gallons in each side, total of 60. If we were flying with 4 passengers, we'd probably only put about 40 in there. Looks full, looks good. So next we're gonna check the fuel to make sure that it's the right fuel and that there's no water in the fuel. So the way we do that is we take this little jar and we put it on this little gauge under here. We fill it up, and what we're looking for is blue is the correct fuel, a tint aviation fuel, which is 100 low lead, and then we're looking to see if we see any kind of globs in the bottom of it that would indicate that there's water. And so we look pretty clear here, no problem there. Now we're going to go for the sump that's located below the carburetor. This is a carburetor plane built in the 60s. Take some out of there. Still blue. And we're going to look. We don't see any fuel or any water in the fuel. The reason for that is We have filled up the tank, and when we fill up the tank, that's less space for air. In the summertime in particular, that's important because when it's humid, you get air in there and then it condenses out and gets into the fuel. So if you keep your tanks full, less air, less moisture, less chance for water in the fuel. All right, now we're going to go to the other tank, do the same thing. Let's see, this empty air jar. And this jar is a GATS jar, and it's specially designed with a little screen at the top that allows gas to go through, but not water. So we'll be able to, even if we had water, and we got just a tiny little bit of water in the bottom there. I don't know if you can see that. It's right at the bottom, kind of milky looking. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pour the gas out through the screen. There's the screen, like so. And the water won't go through that screen. It'll be trapped inside. Now to get the water out, we're going to turn the jar so that the opening is down. We're just going to empty that out. And we're going to go get another sample, and we're going to do that until we no longer get any water. We did that a couple times. Looks like we got all the water out. I'm going to put the cap back in place, twist it, push it down with the piece away from the wing so that air going over it keeps it closed and doesn't try to open it. Actually, our tires, the one on the left side, looked a little low, so I got out my tire gauge, went and got the air tank, had a little air to the tire. Tires look pretty good. There's no metal coming through. They're not scuffed up too bad. Got the proper inflation amount. Next we're going to look in the engine compartment, check the oil, just look around in there, see what's going on. So we're going to open it up. We've got a couple of little latches here that are kind of delicate. You have to be careful with them. Open that up. Another one on the other side. Generally we just do it on this side. I am particularly looking at the orange hose and the clamp. We had those come loose recently and we lost a little bit of our power. Not dramatically so, but noticeably. We got those two hoses reattached. Here's the oil. So we're going to check the oil. Hasn't been that long since we did an annual, and you can see what oil's clean and it's also full. It's right at 8 quarts. It won't stay at 8 for some reason in this plane. It always quickly goes to 7 and stays at about 7. So we're going to look around, see anything loose, see if we got any oil dripping in the compartment. Everything looks good. So we're going to button that back up. Got the engine compartment closed up. We're going to check and make sure the latches on the other side are closed up. Looks good. And now we're going to check our air filter. Make sure no birds have built a nest in there. Here's our propeller. We'll feel down the edge of the propeller. We're looking for any nicks or indents or anything that's not smooth. Plane was recently had its annual, so you can see that the propeller has been surfaced. Everything's straight, smooth, ready to go.